Hello everyone and welcome back. Welcome back to the part 3 of my the old museum. I think that's what I called it. I'm still a bit unsure on that, I'm not gonna lie. So welcome back to part 3. As said, there's part 1 and 2. If you haven't seen those, please do check them out. The links are in the description below. So part 1 was the building part 2 was the landscaping, and this is part 3, which is going to be the furnishing. So as the title suggests, this is a museum, so the furnishing is not going to be really, that detailed. So most of the furnishing is going to be, well, not most, but a big part of it is going to be the outside as well. So as you can see, I've put in the wedding arch. So yes, this is a museum, so the whole point of this slot is for your Sims to come in and enjoy some art. But you can get married here, so I really put a lot of effort into creating this little, I don't know what you would call it. It's not a venue, it's not a chapel, it's just a front garden with a wedding area, I suppose. Let's just go with that. So I really put a lot of attention to it. I did go about it all wrong, as I'm sure you can tell, because it's all off center. So I'm gonna have to go and fix that more than once. I'm not gonna lie. Look, this was like 5 hours in. I'm pretty sure. I was a bit delirious at that point, and I always do this. And I always say this, like, I shouldn't be recording everything at once. I should be doing it in parts. But then every time I actually am doing it, I'm just like, I just want to smash this out. I just want to get this done. And then I get so invested and so into it, and I just can't wait to see the final product, and I just can't walk away. And so then I'm like recording for 6 hours, and I'm like doing stupid stuff. So if you're yelling at me for something that I'm doing that is completely wrong and unnecessary, well, you're right and I'm wrong, and feel free to yell at me because I probably deserve it. But yeah, so this wedding area, like I said, I put a lot of effort into it. I really put a lot of attention to detail. I created this little nice backdrop for the wedding arch, so all of your pictures will be looking fabulous. I wanted to build this little, have a stand and then add like a book on it so that they can read at the ceremony from it. And then I realized that we already have that actual object in the game, so I actually ended up keeping both. And there's also going to be this little kind of a 3-leveled stand that has some tissues on it, some nice decorations, and the little parchment that's maybe the vows or something. So I don't know, I'm really proud of this wedding area, and I think obviously I'm gonna keep this in my game. I intend to use it for my own Sims as well, because I think it's really nice, if I do say so myself. So yeah, if you guys wanna include this in your game, if you wanna download it, you can. It is on the gallery. The link is as well in the description below. It is a big lot. It is 64 by 64, so there's not many of them in the game, but there are some, so you can place it there. I don't think you would be able to place it on a smaller lot though, because even the building itself, even if you lose the landscaping, the actual house, the structure is so massive. I don't think it would fit on any other ones. So, but I never make huge buildings like this, so this is an exception to the rule. It was different. It was a challenge, but I really enjoyed it, and I don't mean to toot into my own horn, but I'm so happy with how this turned out. Like I've said in one of the previous parts, I actually attempted to build this before, and I scrapped it halfway through because it just wasn't working out. And this time I was determined to see it through, and I'm so pleased with how it turned out. Just the exterior, the landscaping, just everything. I don't know. I'm really happy, and I hope you enjoy it, and I hope you agree. I'll say, I'm gonna be honest, the inside, probably not my strongest work ever. I mean, definitely not. Probably could have done a bit more with that, but as I'm sure you can tell, I haven't been to a museum in like a good time. When was the last? I honestly, I couldn't even remember. It's probably been like 15 years. I actually went to a museum in 2017, but it was a really small museum, so I wouldn't really count that. So I was struggling a little bit. Also, let me just point in this section, because it is so obvious how lagging the game is. And I've said it before, like, I have never experienced a lag in my game. Like, a lag due to game being glitchy and stuff, yes. But not just because, you know, there's a lot of decorations and there's a lot of objects or whatever. But at this point, it got really bad. So, I thought it was interesting though, because the lag was only present in build mode. Obviously I moved in my sim to take the screenshots and test things and everything. So in live mode and buy mode, there was no lag, none whatsoever. Everything's totally fine. But like, even building a fence in build mode, oh my god, it was such an effort. I thought it was really interesting and really curious. But yeah, so I did move in my sim for the screenshots and all that, and then I did move her back out and change this back to a community lot, because that's what it is, obviously. So keep that in mind as well. I mean, I guess, you know, if you want to turn it into a residential one, I guess you could. You know, you do you. But yeah, so speaking of my inexperience, as you know, visiting museums, there's a couple of collections in here. Some of them are a bit questionable. I didn't really know what collections to create, I guess. So I just winged it. Like, I'm sorry if there's any like museum experts out there like watching this and cringing. I'm really sorry. I tried. To be completely honest, for me, the vocal point, or the main focus of this building, was the structure itself, the exterior, or the landscaping and all that. The interior was just like, you know, it's a museum, so obviously there has to be things to look at. It wasn't really that important, even though that sounds bad. But you know, I tried to make it look nice and good and pretty. Also, I fenced these like separate collections away so that they're safe, because, you know, people shouldn't be touching them and walking up to them and things like that. But I did leave some of them without a fence, and as well I put some paintings in as well later on, so that for all of your kleptomaniacs out there, they will be able to steal a couple of things if, you know, that is something that you decide to do. Because I know that, you know, that's always a good option to have, like if you're simply struggling for money, or if that's just their lifestyle. There's also opportunities for theft. Oh my god, such a hard word for me to say. For theft. Okay, I give up. I can't. I can't say it. You can do it if you want to. Steal away. Yeah, I probably shouldn't be saying this, but oh well. I was gonna say something else, and I think it just slipped my mind. I don't know. Yeah, I'm just doing a bit of adjustment because everything was so off center and nothing was like aligning properly, and it was driving me nuts. And yeah, I realized that the foyer is still like unpainted. I will go back and do that. There's a lot of back and forth just because it is such a massive building, and I do go over all the details, and I like went around the whole lot multiple times just looking for little mistakes and maybe like things that I missed. So I think I got all of them. Probably not. I might have missed some, and if I did, I'm really sorry. I really try to just redeem everything and rectify all the little mistakes, because when you're building, you really don't just notice all these little details. And then when I go in to do the screenshots, and then when I watch the footage and I notice all these little mistakes, I'm just like, oh my god, how did I miss that? Like, for example, I'm sure plenty of you have noticed that the two back rooms are not even. I never noticed that until way like into the end of the recording, which I will fix that. You will be able to see it in a minute. But it's funny and it's interesting, but also kind of infuriating to then when you watch back and you're just like, how did I not see that? Another thing that I want to point out is, I'm sure many of you have noticed, there is a random water emitter, I believe it is called, that's spritzing water. I'm not sure if that's a word, but that's what we're going with. So at the back of the building, at the back door, it is there. I don't know when it was placed. I didn't put it there on purpose, obviously. It took so much effort to get it removed, because I had to remove the floor and a part of the wall, because the emitter was actually embedded in the foundation, I think, so I couldn't like grab onto it and delete it. So in the end, I got it. It has been removed, so don't worry if you download this from the gallery. It won't be there because obviously it's not supposed to be. But it was so annoying and it was so difficult to get rid of it. I was losing my mind. I believe I got all of these columns as well. Like, I painted all of them. I put all these decorations back in place because they just moved and some of them disappeared for no reason. I have no idea. I also need to point out, I feel like I never say this, and I really should, even though I feel like it goes without saying, but if you do end up downloading this from the gallery, please make sure you have move objects on, because if you don't, you will probably experience a lot of things being put in weird places where they shouldn't be, where they don't fit, and a lot of these glitches are a result of that as well, I believe. So if you do download this, make sure you have the move objects cheat on, because if you don't, there's gonna be a lot of frustration. Trust me, I experienced it already. It's not funny, but we laugh because what else are you gonna do? Another big frustration that I had in this build, which I then googled it and apparently it's a thing, was the freezes. When I was putting them on the exterior of the build, they popped in on the inside and then I couldn't get rid of them. So the only way for me to get rid of them was to delete them entirely. So some parts of the house are missing the freezes. It is just at the back, I think, so it's not as noticeable. And I couldn't find a way around it, and so I just left it. I tried. You can see here, I really tried to fix it. I couldn't, and yeah, so that's it. So yeah, here you can see there's like decorations missing for no reason. So I will put those back where they were supposed to be in the first place. Also, you can see the roof decoration, like the little, I don't know what you would call them, the little decorations on top of the roof disappeared. So I will replace those as well. and these little four columns at the front were empty, which I completely overlooked. And then I do end up putting these other decorations in there, just so that it doesn't look weird, like why are those empty, you know. And here we go, like there's a wall missing, sure, why not. There was a lot happening in this build. Have I mentioned that it took 6.5 hours to do this? Have I? Well, I'm mentioning it again because it did. But it was worth it. I think like you can tell that a lot of effort went into this, and I'm really proud. Like it turned out so much better than I could have hoped for. I think I am quite happy, quite satisfied. Yep. I'm hungry. It's like 12:30. I've been doing voiceovers and editing since 9, and I have a long day ahead. But I'm so excited. It's been so long since I actually had the time to sit down and play my game and make some videos. I'm so excited. I've just been so busy with school and work and everything. So I am super excited. Hungry, but excited. Yeah, I've said it in one of my videos as well. I redid the terrain painting. So in this recording, the terrain is all bare because it glitched out and the game deleted it. But you will see it in the screenshots. The terrain painting has been redone. So don't worry, it is not gonna look this bare. But yeah, that being said, this is pretty much it, you guys. The video is all done. So we're gonna jump into the screenshots, and yeah, if something seems different, it's because, you know, like I said, I was going in for the screenshots and then I realized there were like little mistakes, so I went back and fixed those. So here we are, the grand old museum. We're just gonna start with a couple of just, you know, exterior shots, just to showcase the details and the little you know, decorations and just things that I was really proud of. Because I do think that the you know, the level of detail is quite on point here. Here's just the view from the back of the building as well. There's a wishing well. If your Sims are into some supernatural activities, that should satisfy them. Yeah, I don't know. I think it all just came together really nicely, if I do say so myself anyway. But yeah, pretty nice, and such a nice sunny day. Trust me, it took a lot of effort to make that happen. It's totally fabricated. It was totally raining, but we fixed that thanks to the weather machine. So here we are. This is our painting collection. Some rather expensive vases, I would assume, and maybe a bit darker collection of some statues. Here's some hybrid flowers, super rare and expensive, I don't know. Some little statuettes as well, and this next section is just a bit modernistic back area, because, you know, I love some modern art. Here in the middle you can see the founder of the museum, maybe, you know, that's a depiction of him, and some outdoor statues on display as well. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this video, and I really hope you like this house. As always, please subscribe, I would really appreciate that, and I will see you guys soon. I hope you're having a lovely day. Bye guys. I'm still here. Sorry. This impromptu face camera moment was brought to you by me. Just redid my hair, so I just figured, if not now, when. I just have like a quick, a little side note. So I had this video fully edited, fully prepped to be uploaded on YouTube, and there was just something that was not sitting well with me, and something that was bugging me, and I knew that if I was gonna leave it, it would have bugged me till the end of time. So I had to go back and fix something. So I actually went back and I fixed the interior of the museum a little bit. And we're gonna jump into the game in a second. I mean, there's no recording or anything of it. It was just a quick fix. And I'm just gonna show you real quick what I did. And I think you'll agree that it does make more sense and it looks better like this. So I'm sorry about this. I never do this. This is unprecedented and hopefully it doesn't happen again. Okay, so this is the first thing that I changed is I moved all of the outdoor statues outside because that was just, it was bugging me, like it wasn't making any sense. So I just added all of these debug items, which I think makes so much more sense and it just looks way better already. I have just updated a little bit this section and this one as well because I don't think they were properly aligned. So I just made sure that they're a bit more symmetrical and all that, as well as these two front ones. They are now a bit more similar to each other, which is just more pleasant to the eye. I have added also a few more of these vases. The outside statues have been moved to the back, so you can still look at them and admire them, but it makes sense that they're actually outside. This one is staying right here towards the back, and of course I had to add my favorite sculpture of all time out here to the front. So this is basically it. Nothing major, nothing big at all, but I just think it makes a huge difference, and I do hope you guys will agree as well. So again, I'm sorry for this, but you know, it is what it is.